All right, so this video is going to be
We wanted to make kind of a getting to know us video now that we already we're starting to try to produce more content more regularly, and yeah, just to kind of get to know us a little bit, what our story is. And
we're gonna start from the beginning. So
yeah.
We met like in 2016, 2017. We worked at a hospital here in Corpus, and that is where we met. I was a housekeeper.
And I was a floor tech. That's just fancy word for janitor. And I was working on her floor one day, and I had just moved to the day shift from night shift. And I went into the little EVS closet to get some supplies that I needed, and she was in there. And I thought that she was super cute. She had this little black choker on, and I can't remember if you had the little kitty ears headband or not.
I used to wear little kitty, like little cat ears headbands.
And you still do.
No, I don't anymore.
And I thought she was super cute, and you know, I kind of introduced myself and everything, and then I see a wedding ring. I see a wedding ring, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that figures.
Yep, I was married at the time whenever we first met, so we just talked once in a while when we would see each other in passing, and that was pretty much it. Like, we didn't know much about each other other than that he knew I was married, and then I knew we had a conversation about him having kids, his 3 boys, so that's basically all we knew about each other at that point.
Well, we did have some little conversations, you know. I had her on Facebook and Instagram and everything. And
but that was later.
Yeah, it was
at the very beginning. We just knew very little about each other, just being married and then you having kids. Yeah,
that was a little bit later, but
and then once we got to, well, I ended up getting moved to PM, to PM shift, so we never saw each other anymore. But then I started having marital problems, and back then I used to post all my issues on Facebook, so people knew, you know, what was going on in my life. So I was friends with him on social media, and he did reach out to me, and not in a like, ooh, you know, like she's vulnerable.
I wasn't trying to slide into the DMs.
I never got that vibe off of him. Like, I didn't even know he had a crush on me. When I found out, I was like, what? But yeah, I never knew. So like, he was just very comforting at the time, trying to give me advice. Because he had been through something similar in the past with his previous marriage. And
then I did get mad at her at one point. I thought we could put this in the video. I did get mad at her at one point because she was having a conversation with some coworkers, and she said that she would never date a white guy. And
only because I've dated a white guy before, and that didn't work out pretty well.
And I took offense to that. And well, I mean, it kind of hurt because I was crushing on her, and I was like, oh, okay, well, now I know that I don't have a chance. Like, that's, you know, and
he was mad at me for like 2 weeks, and he didn't talk to me. He would like avoid me, and I'm like, why is he mad at me? And my friend was like, I think he likes you. I think he has a crush on you. I'm like, no, like, that's not the reason. But it turns out it was.
It was the reason.
That was the funniest thing. So after that, you left work. Once COVID started, I ended up getting a different position. When I was working at night, I was doing like a call center kind of thing for the housekeeping department. And then I ended up getting another job within that company, which is a patient ambassador. So when I started, that was the very beginning of like when COVID got really bad at the hospital. And I think I saw you like a few times, and then after that I didn't see him anymore. And I was like, what happened to Cameron? I was like, where did he go? And my friend was like, oh, he quit.
I bailed.
He just never came back. And I'm like, what?
I bailed.
Yeah. And then after that, we didn't. I mean, I separated from my husband in 2020 right? No, 2019.
No,
2019. It was November 1st, and yeah, from then on, I was single and I wanted to stay single. I didn't plan on like meeting anybody or just, I didn't want anything to do with guys.
And then I had also been through a hurtful relationship that lasted 5 months, I think, and it was a pretty hard experience. And so I was kind of done with dating and wasn't interested in being in a relationship or even talking to any women at all, for that matter.
Yep, and the time that I separated from my husband was the time that he had his breakup with his girlfriend. So we were both single at that time. We didn't know, we didn't really keep up with each other until a year after, or almost a year after, our relationships had crumbled. What did you, like on TikTok, right? Or I think he found my TikTok and he was like, he knows I sing, so he was like, where are your singing videos?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of her singing voice, and I found her on TikTok, and I was like, why don't you have any singing videos? Like, you should have more singing videos out there. So she posted a handful of them, and then I said, oh, well, we need to do like a duet. Like, I can play guitar and you can sing. So, and I hadn't played guitar in a few years, so it gave me a reason to pick up my guitar again, and so I started working on a song that I knew that she knew. Yeah, and then we ended up
After
doing.
that, I started talking.
Yeah, we made
More
that
and more.
video, and then we started talking on an almost daily basis.
Yep, and from there, we just started talking. We ended up getting together.
Well, I finally asked her out on a date,
Yeah.
and I wasn't sure if she knew it was a date.
No, I knew it was a date.
And she was, we had both been hurt so much in the past that it was very difficult to kind of let each other in. And
More so me.
Yeah, it took a while. I mean, we were talking for 5-6 weeks before, like, we actually decided to just give it a go. And and then things rapidly progressed. She had told me that it was highly unlikely that she would ever have a child. That she had tried for years and years and it just never happened. And
Then.
and I told her, I was like, no, it's gonna happen, and she finally got to a point where she started to have a little bit of faith that it would happen.
And I even wrote it on my dresser, like on the mirror of my dresser, I will get pregnant in God's timing, or in God's time. And then like a couple of weeks later, found out I was pregnant.
And we had been dating for about 6 weeks, and we found out that she was pregnant.
No, it was more than that.
What?
We dated more than that. It was a little bit more than that.
We started dating
December
official
14th.
December 14th, and you found out you were pregnant on like February
17th. So it was like,
okay.
yeah. So it was
it was almost 2
2
months.
months. But it was so crazy.
It was very unexpected, and people might have a lot of strong opinions about that, but she and I, going through what we've gone through and experiencing what we've experienced in relationships, like you get to an age and experienced enough to where you know what you want. You know what you want, and it's like all right, so we're doing this.
Yeah, and we both love really hard. So
Yes.
like that's why we fell in love really fast. And I mean, before we even started, like made it official, we were both in love with each other already. So we both just have a lot of love to give. So I think at that point, like, we just knew what we wanted. We knew, we were right for each other. And then especially once I found out I was pregnant, I was like, okay, this is meant to be.
Yeah.
Because for so many years that I tried getting pregnant and it just never happened. And now we have this little beautiful boy. Say hi.
He's like, I'm not in the mood.
That's basically our story on how we met. So we knew of each other, and we talked once in a while for a couple of years.
For about 4 years?
Yeah, for a couple of years, and then one thing led to another, and I said I'm gonna end 2020 like being single and da-da-da, and that didn't happen. The last month is when I got a boyfriend, and now we're engaged and hopefully getting married soon.
Well, and we want to make some more informational videos just about us and our relationships, because there are struggles trying to blend blend a family. I have 3 kids from a previous marriage, and now we have Josiah here, and that comes with difficulties as well as cultural differences. Just trying to blend cultures a little bit, and it can be a little bit jarring at times, at least for me. I don't know about her, but it's a whole lot to take in for me. We can just talk about that stuff and
also our experience through pregnancy, because we never had a chance to talk about everything that we went through, and it's a lot. It's a lot to talk about, and it's something that I think people should hear, especially what I went through. What are the experiences that I went through during the pregnancy for both of us. So we have another, more videos like this to come.
Yes.
Not just us walking around doing, running errands around town, but we want to make videos like this for you guys to get to know us a lot better.
Yeah.
And, just hopefully help people out there that have gone through some similar situations as us.
And we think that we're pretty awesome, and we just want to share a little bit of that awesome with everybody else.
And share this little baby with you guys as well. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to continue watching, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications, and let everybody know who
the MD family.
The MD family. Go let your friends know, your neighbors know, everybody to subscribe and watch.
Yes, please.
See you next time. Tom, did you scratch your face again? Oh no. It was just, ow.